Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. The problem with the walls you put up. You know what? There's many women in this society have an interesting dilemma. Well, I shouldn't even say it's an interesting dilemma. It's a jacked up dilemma. It really is jacked up, right? Because many of y'all got walls when y'all walk up out here in the streets and everything. Now, I ain't just talking about stop being rude to non-select men, right? And y'all need to be. But there was a scenario which I mentioned in there. It was like you get some guys, they ain't approaching you with good sense. They starting out with some stuff like just rude, wrong, talking about, hey, baby, psst, just yelling or something. And then when you rightfully, and I'm going to say rightfully, ignore some dumb shit like that, some impolite shit like that, they want to curse you out. So, I actually understand women, you get to the point where if the guy's not up in your face, which I still say you need to be polite if he approaches you politely, but you walking down the street, shoot, you got to err on the side that the guy ain't going to be polite. You got to err on that side, so you got that wall up. You mean mugging and all of that, right? Which I understand, I understand. You mean mugging, but here's the problem. Here's the irony. Many of you doing that, you want that guy, right? You still want a guy to, the right guy to walk up, say, hey, how you doing, approach you, or say hi, be cool with you. But that wall, ironically, blocks the wall that's keeping out the less evolved males is keeping out the one you want. And it's jacked up. It's jacked up. And even, and that was just one example, just walking down the street. Many women go into a relationship, like you'll meet a guy somehow, but you still got that wall up. Because, the last guy you let that wall down for, he dogged you. He got in there, did his business, and then all of a sudden didn't call anymore. He bust that thing, you thinking you in love, you think you met the one, you calling your family up, you telling all your friends. But then all of a sudden you send this dude a long ass text and he respond, okay. So it's like, you messed up. You got the wall up when you just walking around. And then you still got the wall up when you meet that guy because you're being cautious, right? Now, I had talked about people who follow my work know I talk about Mr. Goodbar, the masked man, and everything, right? Now, Mr. Goodbar, I usually get with him quick because he just got that sex appeal, like your walls come down. And plus, that's Mr. Goodbar's greatest skill. He can get past your defenses with precision. He get through your door. You might have him up, but he'll get past them, but we're talking only about 10% of the male population right there. Now, the masked man, one thing that sets him apart, not just his material goods or being the image of what you want, but you're checking him out a bit more. Because you're asking yourself, is this really who he is? And you holding back. You're still keeping up a bit of a wall. You're still keeping a bit of a distance. Because he don't have that skill to get past it, right? And some cases don't have the motivation to try to get past it just as long as he get enough of what he want, right? So you still keeping the thing up, but you could actually lose a man. Irony is you can actually lose a man. You can be you trying to get something going, but because you still keeping that wall up, you're still cautious or anything, you can really keep that love from coming in because, the guy might have some level of patience with you, depending on how attractive you feel you are or how much potential is there. Some guys will try to wait it out. Some guys, all guys ain't trying to just get the sex right away. Some guys are waited, they say, what, she got a lot going on. I'm going to try to get to know it. And some guys, they want, they got a healer mentality anyway, right? They got a healer mentality. They actually want to restore and all of that. But see, sometimes there's only so far a man can go or willing to go. Because sometimes that wall that you've had to keep up to keep hurt from coming in is still up, and it actually keeps love from coming in. And it's a shame. I understand. It really is a dilemma. It's not, like I said earlier, I was going to use the word interesting, but it's not an interesting dilemma. It's a jacked up dilemma, right? Because you blocking out the same thing that protects you actually blocks out what you really want, right? And you know what? I'm not going to just talk about it. I'm going to give you some advice. Now, on the street and stuff, like I said, if you probably got that wall up, but as long as a guy is polite, let it down a little bit. See what he's talking about. You might be surprised. Now, in a relationship, you know what? Don't be afraid to get to know a guy, right? Don't go into a relationship thinking, oh, this guy's going to be bad like the last 5. Well, first of all, let me go off on a tangent now. If you dealt with 5 straight dogs, if you dealt with 5 straight players, womanizers, dudes who broke your heart, it ain't the man, sweetie. It's you. So you got to deal with yourself at that level. You got to look in the mirror and say, well, what is it about me that I was attracted to those guys, first of all, right? So that's the first thing, and that deserves a separate topic, right? But you meet that guy, understand one thing anyway, because I'm gonna assume that you listen to me, or you listen to Nana, or some priest, or some relationship coach or something like that, therapist, and worked on yourself. So when you meet that guy, you don't have to let the wall down totally, but just be open for what he can give you. If he's showing you love and genuine love, don't just be like, oh, don't think about it too hard, And also pay attention to what he does outside of what he's doing for you, right? Pay attention to that, right? See how he's behaving. See how he's treating the servers at a restaurant or something. See how people are responding to him. If he introduces you to friends or something, see how he's interacting with them, right? That'll tell you stuff. That'll give you an idea whether you can lower that wall. But even just going into it, think in terms of, all right, yeah, I had this trouble with men in the past. Let him show you what he's about. Don't assume he's going to give you the same thing. He might give you something different. In fact, that's so deep that sometimes women will meet very good men, very nice men. I've had so many women say it, like they dealt with so many dogs and players. Then when they meet a nice guy, like genuine, when I say nice, not like these guys who pretend to be nice, but generally good people. So I say good people's the type of nice guy, right? You gotta say, okay, hold up. This dude is not treating me the same way. Let me let the wall down. Let me let the love in. Let me feel what's going on. And I know it's tough. Ladies, I know it's tough because you went through a lot. But here's the thing too. How are you gonna do you want that love? You prayed for it, You prayed to whatever deity you worship for that person coming in your life. You can't miss out on it because of the wall. You got to be open for receiving that love from a dude, right? Very important consideration. You got to be open for it because it means so much. It means so much to you. So you got to deal with the wall and really just I say the main thing, deal with the reasons why you had that wall up, even before you get to that point. Like every woman should be working on herself. Every single woman, right? Don't say, oh, these guys got to do this and that, or even expect a guy to fix you. Work on the stuff. If you notice you got that wall up, ask yourself why, right? And what are you doing that you can build it down? Because you want that love, you praying, but God might be sending that person to you, but they can't get through because that wall is up. So really think about that. Really, really deal with it. Right? The wall protects, but then it keeps out the bad ones, but it can also keep out the good ones. So anyway, that's all I got for you ladies. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.